Alright, new audio recording. Test one. Primary flight controls. So the overview. So for this feature, we're going over the primary flight controls of an aircraft. As for the primary flight controls, there are three primary flight controls. What are they? They are ailerons, elevators, rudder, and those are the three. What are ailerons? The aileron is to control the aircraft on this longitudinal axis. It is operated through steel push rods, cables, and pulleys. As for what do they do and how do they work is when the airplane's yoke or the control column is turned towards the right side, the right aileron is deflected upwards. Hence, once it's deflected upwards, it is able to cause a right turn due to the amount of pressure pushing the right wing downwards towards the right side. Therefore, that is what causes a right turn, and that is same with the left side as a left Mack, as it's called. That is the ailerons. Next one is with ailerons. There are two types of ailerons. One is a freeze type or freeze type, and the other one is differential ailerons. With the differential aileron is one we have on the Cessna 172, and that is to control the adverse yaw. Now, what is adverse yaw? Adverse yaw is when you have yaw control, but it is adverse. That will be explained later on. As for the freeze type, it is both that are both equal ailerons, except they have a bottomward hinge at the bottom to stop the adverse yaw. As for the second type of primary flight control is the elevator. The elevator controls the aircraft on its lateral axis. What it does is it's also controlled by pulleys and cables and steel rods. It also works as an elevator, but instead of deflecting the air upwards and downwards only, but instead deflects air upwards and downwards only. With that controls the aircraft to pitch the nose up and pitch the nose down, hence causing an upward or downward motion. As for the rudder, control yaw is about the vertical axis. Now this is where the yaw comes in, as I was previously mentioning. What the rudder is, imagine if it's like a boat. You have a boat and you have the rudder that controls the direction of the boat. But in aircraft, since we use ailerons, there is rudders as backup. Now what these rudders do is they control the yaw or the vertical axis and move left and right, as so. With that, there is adverse yaw during turns. Therefore, to control the adverse yaw, which is when you have a wing raised too high and one raised too low, the higher wing creates more drag. That is to control that and prevent that from happening. Moving along, we have the secondary flight controls. With secondary flight controls, we have the flaps. What flaps do is to increase the angle of attack or descent or climb rate without increasing airspeed or at a very low airspeed. This is also used for landing, as it is very good during flight training as well. There are three settings for flaps control. It is cruise is 0 degrees, takeoff and landing is 15, and landing is 45. They are either hydraulic operated or electric operated. For a Cessna 172, it is electric operated. Lastly is spoilers. Spoilers are ones that open up during landing, and they're to spoil the smooth air flow over the wing of the aircraft and reduce lift. Hence, it is mostly used for landing. Lastly, we have trim control, and what is trim control is to relieve the constant back pressure of the aircraft, meaning that if you're taking off or landing, you need to relieve that back pressure. You can also relieve it by trimming out the aircraft and making sure it's all smooth for control. And the trim tab, we also have anti-servo tabs and balance tab. What those are is those are the miniature trim tabs inside trim tabs, or as for balance tabs, those are the ones that you adjust on the ground as well, so that the aircraft trim is balanced and is well trimmed out. These are all important during flight. So why are these important once again? Is so that as a student pilot, you know how to operate an aircraft safely and how an aircraft flies and how it works, as to opposed to just knowing how to fly and how to pass. That is all.